He asked me to take control of him, but I never realized control could take me away from myself. The first time he whispered it, I thought he was joking. His breath was hot against my ear. The sheets tangled between us, our bodies still damp with sweat. "What if," he said, voice low, almost playful, "you were the one on top in every way?" My laugh came out nervous, like glass rattling in a cupboard. We had always played with roles, teetering between power and surrender, but this was different. It wasn't just suggestion. There was weight in his tone, hunger shaped like a dare. I remember staring at the ceiling fan, its blades cutting the silence in uneven beats. My heart beat faster than the rhythm. Who was I in that moment? A wife, a lover, a performer in someone else's fantasy. My name is Alina. I am 31 years old. A woman who believed marriage meant a safe harbor, a balance between giving and receiving. And yet, as I lay there that night with Daniel's hand tracing circles on my hip, I realized our harbor was drifting into uncharted waters. We lived in a loft apartment with wide windows that looked down on the city. At night, the skyline flickered with neon and smoke, while inside our world smelled faintly of leather, wine, and lavender candles I bought in bulk. The space was ours, and yet sometimes I felt like a guest, like my body was his theater, and I was expected to keep performing. That night, when Daniel reached across me, his fingers sliding between mine, I could feel the pulse of anticipation in him. His eyes were steady, almost too steady, as if he had rehearsed what he was about to ask. "Let's make a pact," he said, voice low, the kind of low that slips under your skin and lingers. "A pact?" I echoed. He smiled. That disarming smile that had won me years ago in a cafe, when he spilled coffee on my scarf and bought me a replacement the same day. His charm was his sword, his shield, and sometimes my undoing. Just you and me. No judgment. We explore everything we've never said out loud. His thumb stroked my knuckles. Starting with this. The silence that followed wasn't silence at all. I could hear the faint hum of traffic below, the tick of the radiator, the rush of blood in my own ears. My mouth was dry. "Daniel," I whispered, unsure if I was stalling or inviting him further. He leaned closer, lips brushing my temple. "Don't be afraid. It's just us, just curiosity. But curiosity can be a dangerous seed." I felt it take root in my chest, twisting, stretching. Part of me was intrigued. There was a thrill in the unknown, in breaking rules together. Another part of me tightened, uneasy, as if the floor beneath us had shifted. The next day, his words wouldn't leave me. At work, my hands moved over spreadsheets, but my mind replayed the look in his eyes, the way he'd held his breath waiting for my answer. In the mirror of the office restroom, I caught my reflection, flushed cheeks, distracted eyes. Was I excited? Afraid? Both. That evening, he set the mood as if we were staging a scene. Lights dimmed, soft music humming low, a bottle of wine breathing on the counter. He greeted me with a kiss that lingered too long, his hands pressing into the small of my back like he wanted to mold me into something new. We didn't speak of pacts or promises while we ate. But his gaze, steady, searching, made the unspoken feel louder than any conversation. Later, when the dishes were stacked and the city outside had gone quiet, he led me to the bedroom. His hand was warm, insistent. My pulse stuttered. I could feel the shift. This wasn't play anymore. It was something deeper, heavier. When he placed the small black box on the bedspread between us, I stopped breathing. He looked at me like a man offering treasure or maybe temptation. "Say yes, Alina," he whispered. "Say yes and we'll never hold back again." My lips parted, but no sound came. The city light spilled through the blinds, striping his face in shadows. In that moment, I wasn't sure if I was about to step into intimacy or into a trap I wouldn't see until too late. And that's where it began. The Pegging Pact. The black box still sits between us like a secret no one else will ever know. Small, unassuming, but heavy with what it represents. Daniel doesn't move until I do. His eyes pin me in place, patient but insistent, like a chess player waiting for me to make the wrong move. I touch the lid. The cardboard feels cool, almost damp against my fingertips. A laugh escapes me, thin and breathless. "You planned this?" He grins, slow, deliberate. I've been thinking about it. For months. The words sink into me, waited. Months. While I thought our late-night silences meant exhaustion, while I assumed his distracted stares meant stress at work, he was imagining this. Open it, he says. Not a request. A command wrapped in velvet. I flip the lid. The object inside gleams under the faint city light. Smooth, sleek, unfamiliar in my hands. My skin burns just touching it, though it hasn't yet touched me. Daniel's voice softens. Do you trust me? My throat tightens. Trust. The word I thought defined our marriage. But trust is easy when both want the same thing. What happens when curiosity divides instead of unites? I think so, I whisper. You think so? He chuckles, but there's an edge beneath it. Alina, this is us. No shame, no fear. You'll see. It's going to bring us closer. He takes it from me, setting it aside like a promise deferred, then cups my face in his hands. His kiss is warm, intoxicating, his tongue coaxing me into forgetting my doubt. My body betrays me, responding, softening, opening, but my mind refuses to quiet. That night I can't sleep. I lie awake, watching his chest rise and fall, his arm heavy across my waist. The city hums outside, neon bleeding through the blinds, but my world feels smaller, tighter. Was this what love was supposed to be? Saying yes because saying no might make him turn away? I roll onto my side, staring at his profile in the half-dark. He looks peaceful, like a boy who got exactly what he wanted. And yet I wonder, if I never opened that box, if I never said yes, would his peace still exist? Or would it fracture, turning sharp, dangerous? The next evening, Daniel surprises me with candles and music again. He's careful, gentle, pouring me wine, brushing hair back from my shoulder as if I'm the most fragile thing he owns. But the black box is on the dresser. Waiting. We sit across from each other on the couch, our knees almost touching. His gaze lingers too long, his silence a question he refuses to speak aloud. Finally, I say it. I'm scared. Of me? His brow furrows. No, of what this means. His hand slides over mine. It means we're alive. That we don't let fear chain us. You always said you wanted adventure, Alina. I wanted adventure with you, I reply, my voice trembling. But I don't want adventure to become obligation. For the first time, his smile falters. Obligation? I look away, my pulse hammering. What if I'm not enough the way I am? His hand tightens around mine. You're more than enough. This isn't about replacing anything. It's about unlocking us. Don't you see? I want to believe him. God, I want to believe him. His words sink into me like honey, sticky and sweet, coating the doubts I can't shake. Later, as the night deepens, we find ourselves back in the bedroom. The candles flicker, shadows dancing on the walls. Daniel's touch is tender, his voice soft, whispering reassurances that blur the line between promise and persuasion. He places the object in my hands again. My palms sweat around it. Just try, he says, his tone coaxing, almost pleading. If you hate it, we stop. A deal. A boundary disguised as freedom. I nod, though my stomach twists. My body obeys before my heart agrees. The air thickens with anticipation as I move where he wants me. He closes his eyes, surrendering, but I don't feel powerful. I feel like an actress playing a part in a script I never wrote. The sound of his breath, ragged, desperate, fills the room. My own breath stutters, not from excitement, but from something I can't yet name. And then, just as I'm about to either step fully into this pact or drop it entirely, the front door buzzes. We freeze. Both staring at each other. Who the hell? Daniel mutters, pulling away. The buzzer rings again. Sharp, insistent, cutting through the tension like a blade. I drop the object back onto the bed, my hands trembling. Saved, interrupted, or delayed. I don't know which, but I do know this. The buzzer echoes through the loft like a siren I didn't ask for. Daniel curses under his breath, tugging on his shirt, his movements sharp with irritation. I sit frozen on the edge of the bed, the object between us like a ghost no one else can see. Stay here, he mutters, and leaves. I listen as the heavy metal door opens downstairs. the sound bouncing up through the stairwell. A voice I don't recognize, low masculine, exchanges a few muffled words with him. Then footsteps. 2 sets approaching, my chest tightens. Who, why? And why now of all moments? The door opens and Daniel steps in with a man I've never seen before. Tall, confident, dark hair falling over his brow. He carries a folder under his arm, but his eyes, sharp, too sharp, scan the room, lingering on me before darting away. This is Marcus, Daniel says quickly, like the name explains everything. From work. He just needed to drop something off. Marcus nods politely. Sorry for the interruption. His voice is smooth, but his glance flicks again toward the bed, toward the shadows of candles, the obvious intimacy of the scene he's walked into. I feel heat crawl up my neck. Shame? Embarrassment? No, exposure. As if Marcus can see what's between us even if he can't. Daniel ushers him toward the kitchen. Their voices low while I sit in the bedroom, staring at the object like it's burning a hole through the sheets. When Marcus finally leaves, the door clicking shut behind him, Daniel returns. His face is tight, jaw clenched. What a fucking time to show up, he growls. I force a laugh, brittle. Maybe it was a sign. His head snaps toward me. A sign of what? That maybe we're pushing too fast. I meet his gaze, my throat dry. Daniel, I don't know if I want this. I don't know if I'm ready. He exhales sharply, pacing. The muscles in his forearm tense as he runs a hand through his hair. Alina, don't do this. Don't turn curiosity into fear. You always told me we should be honest about what we want. I am being honest, I whisper. The silence that follows is unbearable. He stares at me, disappointment written all over his face, but beneath it, something softer. A crack in the armor. Finally, he sits beside me. His hand finds mine. His voice is lower, almost breaking. I don't want to feel ashamed of wanting things. And with you, I thought I didn't have to. His confession is raw and it slices through me. Shame. That word I know too well. Shame for saying no. Shame for saying yes. Shame for even hesitating. My chest aches. I reach out, cupping his cheek. Daniel, I don't want you to feel ashamed. I want you to trust me with your desires, but I need you to trust mine too. Sometimes my desire is to not desire the same thing. His eyes close under my touch. For the first time, he looks fragile, not forceful. I don't want to lose you, he murmurs. You won't, I whisper. My thumb strokes his jaw. But you might if this becomes about control instead of us. Something shifts then. His forehead rests against mine, his breath shaky, uneven. I feel his fear, his hunger, his love all tangled. And maybe my own tangled back. Our lips find each other, slower this time, weighted with meaning rather than urgency. The kiss deepens, a confession without words. His hand slides to my waist, but he doesn't push. He waits, and for once that waiting feels like love, not pressure. But just as the air grows heavy with possibility, my phone vibrates on the nightstand. A message lighting up the screen. Daniel pulls back, frowning. Ignore it. I glance at the glow. It's my sister, call me. It's urgent, my heart sinks. The timing is cruel. I meet Daniel's eyes. His jaw tightens, torn between frustration and fear. I have to, I whisper, reaching for the phone. The confession between us hangs unfinished, hovering. And I know, when I answer this call, nothing between us will be quite. My sister's voice trembles through the line. Alina, I can't do this tonight. Can you come over, please? It's the tone that leaves no room for refusal. The same tone she used when our father left, when the world collapsed in on itself. I promise I'll come, soothing her until her breathing steadies. When I hang up, Daniel is already pacing. The candles sputter in the draft of his movements. Shadows lurching across the walls. You're leaving? His voice is sharp, but underneath something breaks. She needs me. And I don't. He whirls on me, eyes blazing. Every time we get close, something pulls you away. First Marcus, now this. What's next, Alina? What excuse tomorrow? I swallow hard. It's not an excuse. It's my sister. He cuts me off, voice low, dangerous. What about us? Do we matter less than every distraction that knocks on our door? The room feels smaller, the air thicker. My hands shake as I gather my coat. The object on the bed still gleaming between us, mocking. This isn't about distractions. This is about me not being ready. The words land heavy. Daniel freezes, his jaw tightening. For a moment, I think he might explode. Instead, he sinks into the chair by the window, running both hands over his face. When he speaks again, his voice is hollow. You make me feel like a stranger in my own marriage. That sentence slices through me deeper than anger ever could. My chest aches, my throat tightens, and you make me feel like an actress in mine. The silence after that is unbearable. His eyes lift to mine, hurt, desperate, human. I want to go to him. I want to bridge the distance. But something inside me resists, like a tether pulling me back. He rises slowly, crossing the room until he stands in front of me. His hand lifts, hesitates, then brushes my cheek. His touch is trembling. Vulnerable, don't leave, he whispers. Not a command. A plea. My breath hitches. My heart aches. I have to. He leans closer, his forehead against mine, our breaths mingling. I can feel the storm in him, the need, the fear, the love. And I feel my own reflection of it. Tangled, confusing, impossible. For a moment, the world narrows to just this. Two people clinging to each other on the edge of breaking. Promise me, he says, voice raw. You'll come back tonight. Promise me we'll finish what we started. I close my eyes. The smell of him, soap, sweat, wine, floods me. His desperation seeps into my skin. I promise, I whisper, though I don't know if I mean it. I drive to my sister's apartment through streets slick with rain. The wipers beat a frantic rhythm like my pulse. My mind replays Daniel's words, his eyes, his hands. Stranger. Actress. Promise. At her place, I hold my sister until she finally falls asleep, her tears soaking my shirt. But even as I comfort her, my mind drifts back to the loft, to the candles guttering out, to Daniel waiting in that dark apartment with nothing but his desires and my absence. By the time I return, it's almost dawn. The city is pale and quiet, hushed in that fragile hour before the day begins. I unlock the door and step inside. The loft is still. Too still. The candles have melted into pools of wax. The wine glasses are empty, and there on the bed the black box lies open. The object is gone, my breath catches. Daniel? No answer. I move through the apartment, my footsteps echoing. When I finally find him, he's sitting on the floor by the window, his back against the wall, staring out at the rising sun. His eyes flick to me, tired and red. I thought you weren't coming back. I promised, I whisper, stepping closer. For a long moment, we just stare at each other. And then he says softly, if you can't give me this, tell me now. Don't keep me here half alive, waiting for a yes that will never come. The breaking point has arrived. I feel it in my bones. This isn't about toys or roles or even sex anymore. This is about who we are together, and whether curiosity can survive without becoming control. I sink down beside him, trembling. Then you need to hear me. I don't want this because I feel pushed. I want us to choose together, equal, or not at all. His face crumples, anger, grief, longing, before he buries it in his hands. And in that fragile dawn, I realize whatever comes next will either shatter us or save us. The dawn light paints him in shades of gray and gold, his face hidden in his hands, his shoulders bowed as if the weight of us is crushing him. For a moment I just watch, quiet, trembling. Then I reach out, touching his arm. My voice shakes. Daniel, look at me. He lifts his head slowly. His eyes are raw, stripped of all pretense. No charm, no power games. Just a man terrified of losing the woman he loves. I don't want to hurt you, he whispers. I just wanted to feel close. To feel safe enough to show you all of me. His honesty slices through me. Tears sting my eyes. And I don't want to lose you by pretending I'm okay with something I'm not. That's not closeness, that's performance. The word lingers between us like smoke. He flinches, then nods. You're right, his voice cracks. God, you're right. For the first time, he doesn't argue. Doesn't press. Doesn't try to twist my fear into permission. He just sits there, letting the silence hold us. I lean into him, resting my head on his shoulder. His hand finds mine, hesitant at first, then firm. The city wakes outside, traffic beginning its hum, but inside this loft, it feels like we are the only two people in the world. torn open, vulnerable, trying to stitch ourselves back together. Later, we crawl back into bed, exhaustion pulling us down. The box is still open on the nightstand, empty and accusing. I reach over and close the lid, pressing it shut with finality. Daniel watches me. "So that's it?" I meet his eyes. "No, that's not it. That's just not tonight. Not like this. If we ever open that box again, it has to be because we both want to, not because one of us feels cornered." His throat works as he swallows. Then slowly he nods. "Equal, always." The promise feels different this time. Not a bargain. Not a trap. A truth spoken in the raw light of day. I curl against him, listening to his heartbeat, steady and human. For once, I don't feel like an actress in someone else's play. I feel like myself. And that's when I realize the pact that matters isn't the one sealed by objects or roles. It's the unspoken vow between us that love only lives when both voices are heard. Weeks later, the black box is gone. Daniel didn't tell me when he threw it out, and I didn't ask. We don't need it hovering over us anymore. We're different now, scarred maybe, but stronger. We talk more. About everything. Desires, fears, the shadows we used to bury in silence. Some nights the air between us is heavy with heat, and we still play with power, with roles, with edges, but always with consent, always with choice. And sometimes in the middle of our laughter or in the hush after love, Daniel will press his forehead to mine and whisper, "Equal," and I'll whisper back, "Always." The Pegging Pact began as curiosity. It almost became control, but in the end it became a reminder that love without equality is just exploitation, and intimacy without choice is just performance. And I chose not